Welcome to the Week in Review, the show that brings you up to date on the week that was. Here are the top stories. TCS reports strong second quarter earnings. Telecom Commission proposes major changes in spectrum licensing. And Facebook says it has 65 million active users in India. We start with India's biggest software company, Tata Consultancy Services. While rivals like Infosys are still falling behind, TCS has managed to meet street estimates with its latest earnings announcement. The company's second quarter net profits rose 3.5% sequentially to 3,434 crores. That was on a 5.1% increase in revenue to 15,621. Managing Director N. Chandrasekaran said TCS delivered a strong performance with well-rounded growth. Speaking of well-rounded growth, TCS may be on its way to regaining contracts from other Tata Group companies. Mint has learned the company has won a 385 crore contract from Tata Motors and its unit JLR. Tata Motors is switching to TCS from its earlier vendor IBM. Tata Group companies spend about $1 billion every year on IT. TCS is making a renewed effort to get more contracts from them. Staying with the Tata Group, Indian Hotels is making a fresh bid to buy the famous Orient Express chain. Orient Express had rejected a takeover attempt by Indian Hotels back in 2007. Indian Hotels is joining hands with Italian fund called Charm 2. It's offering to buy all of Orient Express's outstanding shares at $12.63 apiece. That would give the potential deal a value of $1.86 billion. Back in 2007, the Orient Express stock touched a high of nearly $65. Indian Hotels currently owns around 7% of Orient Express's Class A shares. Moving back to earnings, India's biggest company, Reliance Industries, reported a fall in second quarter profits. But it has still managed to meet street estimates. RIL's net profit went down 5.7% to 5,378 crores. That came with a 15% rise in net sales to 90,335. Despite the fall, investors won't be too disappointed with RIL's numbers. On a quarter-on-quarter basis, its oil refining business has become more profitable. The company's gross refining margin for 3 months to September was $9.5 per barrel. In the June quarter, it was $7.9. Switching to other news, the Telecom Commission has proposed a move that could mean an overhaul for the industry. On Wednesday, it recommended replacing the spectrum in the 90 MHz band with 1800 MHz spectrum. It says this can happen when telecom licenses come up for renewal. At present, the most established telecom operators in India use the 900 MHz spectrum band. These include Bharti Airtel, Idea Cellular, and Vodafone India. The 900 MHz band is more efficient because it requires fewer towers to be set up. If the older operators lose spectrum in this band, they'll have to spend on ramping up their infrastructure. The Telecom Commission's proposals will have to be approved by an empowered group of ministers. Authorities have ramped up their crackdown on the alleged fraud at Satyam Computer Services. On Thursday, the Enforcement Directorate froze 822 crores worth of fixed deposits at several banks. ED says the money constitutes proceeds from a crime. Authorities say Satyam's founder, B. Ramalinga Raju, and his family borrowed money by pledging shares at inflated value. Satyam has since been rebranded Mahindra Satyam and is in the process of a merger with Tech Mahindra. And here are some stories in brief. The Supreme Court has eased its ban on tiger tourism in July. On Tuesday, it allowed limited tourism in so-called core areas in tiger habitats. But it added that even this would be allowed in just 20% of core areas and tiger reserves. Honda Motorcycles and Scooters India is looking at a plan to make it the country's largest bike maker. Under the plan, it could build 4 to 5 new factories and ramp up capacity to 10 million two-wheelers every year. Despite the recent slowdown in auto sales, India's two-wheeler industry is expected to grow at an annual rate of 14% until 2020. And finally, Facebook really does seem to be taking India by storm. The social networking site says its active user base in India has reached 65 million. When Facebook started in India in 2010, it had just 8 million users. The company says an increasing number of its Indian users access Facebook via their phones. And that's all we have for you. Thank you for watching.